Hello and welcome to Alumni Stadium for today's live stream broadcast of Braintree Football as they will take on Framingham. Here today, Mike Wasser bringing the coverage here on BCAM TV as we stream live again. Braintree 1-1 on the season, taking on 0-2 Framingham, the Flyers, as we will get ready for the first half of football. Coin toss just happened moments ago, and we will have the playing of the national anthem momentarily as well. But Braintree coming in off of a very close game, although it didn't seem like it was going to be that way at the start of the game, as Braintree held on to beat Stoughton by just 1 point after Stoughton went for a 2-point conversion to win the game late, but not able to score. And now we will pause for the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back. So we are ready for the beginning of this ball game. Again, Braintree coming in off of a narrow victory over Stoughton after losing their first game of the season here at home to Woburn. A 2-touchdown defeat in that one. And we'll see if weather factors in. It looks like quite a bit of wind here to start the ball game. And a good-sized crowd has filed in here today at Alumni Stadium. The 6 o'clock starts, although today starting just after 6:30 because the Framingham bus had an issue with getting here. So game starting just over a half hour behind schedule. Lights on, ready for action as Braintree will receive to begin the ball game, and we'll see if they can start their offense on the right foot. Offense has been pretty good here in the early part of the season for the interim coach for Braintree, Lee Carlson. And the opening kickoff just seconds away. And Framingham set to kick it off. As Braintree with one back deep to return it. As this one poops towards the sideline, it goes out of bounds. And that will be where Braintree takes over. The ball will be moved up. And the offense will take over. Under center will be Tellier. As Tellier works his way out onto the field. And actually Braintree deciding to have him re-kick it, so the offense will not get their opportunity just yet. So often we've seen the team just take it and get the added penalty yardage. But in this situation, Braintree going to have the ball re-kicked. As we get ready for the kickoff again. Again, Braintree with one back deep to return the kickoff. That'll be Franciosa Johnson. Taking a long time for this game to finally get underway. And it's going to be a squib kick towards midfield where Braintree will just fall on at the 40. And that's where the offense will take over.
Saw that?
It'll be first down to Wamps.
So Telly will trot out to the field. First offensive snap of the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Are they asking for a green kick?
Yeah. JJL at 3.
The ball fell off the
Oh,
tee.
my God.
So we're going to see another kickoff. 3rd one already here of the game. Seems like this is going to be a long game the way it's starting off. So it looks like Whitney will be back again to kick it off. And it is windy, so the ball will definitely take its toll. As the ball picked up by Braintree as they work it out towards the 40.
Down to the 40-yard line.
That's where the offense will take over.
Okay.
Alright, you got
4-3 cover 3.
hold on. 1 by 1.
So 10 seconds have come off the
Four
clock
guys- 4 guys on one
Guys
side.
on one side.
as the ball goes up the middle.
Good job.
And the opening handoff for a couple of yards.
Pick up a 1, 2nd down and 9. Tackled by the center.
And that was Luongo on the carry, and he's shaken up. He was hurt
Watch
last
the
game.
bubble screen next. Watch the bubble screen next on your cover. Watch, okay, number 3 is on 2 by 1.
Oh,
Jacob's
Trips
number.
right. Trips right.
Tellier yells out motion to Brooks. Brooks goes out to his flat.
Swing,
And
swing.
back to pass. It's Tellier long down the field. And open is the man, and he's got it. And the catch made by Parsons Gomes. Down the field to the 12.
JJ
Right on the money.
Top on that, but it was bad. Alex can't cover that guy. Shitty angle. Like
55 yards in the end.
So deep down the field it goes on Tellier's first pass of the ball game. And just like that, Braintree in the red zone.
Ball now live.
They're going to go into a cover with
Outside
into a
the
unicorn
10-yard
or
line.
a bear
And the
cover.
13. First down Braintree.
They're down. That's what.
Getting ready on the handoff. As back to take this one up the middle is Brooks. And Brooks will have a couple of yards. Braintree works it right towards the 10-yard line.
You got to get inside like unicorn or cover 1.
Ball on the 11.
Brooks again back behind Tellier as he moves out to his left. 3 men at receiver as the ball is down on the ground and tackled in the backfield as the ball is loose on the ground as Tellier jumps back on top of it. And about a 5-yard loss on the play as the ball was scooped up at the 15.
5.
All right, 3rd and long.
3rd down.
That's a fade right here. That's a fade. 3rd and long.
So about 2 minutes into the opening quarter, 10 minutes and the clock moving as the quarterback waits for the play call.
Yep. So you got 3rd and 12. You got
4 receivers out there right now for Braintree. As Tellier gets back to pass out towards Franciosa Johnson. He's got it as he goes towards the goal line and scores the touchdown here on 3rd down. as Braintree takes it into the end zone for the first score of the ball game with 9:35 on the clock. Braintree strikes first. So Francosa Johnson got one block, found his way down the edge, and found his way in from 15 yards out. And Braintree's first touchdown comes just over 2.5 minutes, or just under 2.5 minutes in to the first quarter, as they go back for the extra point. Again, some wind to deal with for Brooks. Back down to kick this one, and the kick is going to be good, but the flag was thrown right beforehand.
I'm just saying, I'm sorry, if they're not in a cover one in the goal line situation, and they're not in like press man coverage, and everybody there right now, that's going to have to get.
And offside against the defense.
You know, we only have, that's 5 yards.
See if Braintree goes a yard closer. Maybe the offense comes back out.
I mean, you can't be 7 yards off the last scrimmage and think you can get this right. He's much more.
Half the distance to the goal line.
So Braintree will keep the kicking team still out there. So just a yard closer. Braintree continuing to stay with the special teams. Looking to make it a 7-0 ball game. Perfect snap, and the kick down, and the kick is up and good as he splits the uprights. And a quick touchdown and extra point. So Brooks will remain on the field to kick it off. And it took Braintree just a couple of plays to get in the end zone. I think it was 6 plays. Long pass to Parsons Gomes, the highlight on the drive. Third down score from Francosa Johnson.
He's locked in.
I don't know why we're doing 3 and 1. Can't.
Framingham will be back to receive the kickoff. 2 men deep.
What's play 1?
Kickoff is fielded at the 10. As brought out here to the near sideline, and a great tackle. At the 25, the ball is eventually taken down. And a strong tackle, and that was Brooks who kicked that off and made the tackle. That is very rare you see that. Generally, you'll see the kicker make a play deep on the field to try to make the last tackle, but he came all the way up. Obviously plays defense as well, so no real surprise there that he was in on the play.
All right, hold on. They're playing cover 2. He's on the numbers.
Back to
Bottom.
snap this one as the handoff goes up the middle, and a short gain on the first play. Looked like Lincoln was there for the carry. And a flag down on the play.
Okay, got it.
And a personal foul against Braintree. Looked like must have been a face mask, I'm imagining. Referee's hat blew off on the play, which disrupted it.
Check on 3rd down, just always go fly with the team. I think that's probably the safe move.
So the ball will be moved up the field on the penalty.
15-yard penalty against Braintree.
Cover 2, 3-4.
Handoff again. Actually, a fake handoff. The pass short and completed, but a minimal gain on the play out to the right.
Again? Okay. So they were playing.
So it'll be a second and
outside
10.
linebackers off.
Carry.
Let's play. They're taking them off the
In the
line.
end zone? Okay.
Yeah, they're playing off.
Braintree close to jumping that
So
time.
we have to let them know not.
As the handoff goes up the middle and nothing there. And now the ball on the ground, picked up by the Wamps towards the end zone. And Lane at the goal line dive, touchdown. A fumble recovery touchdown.
So once we get in the goal line, a red zone situation, we just have to go cover one.
So Lane with the fumble recovery and takes it all the way down the field for the touchdown. And Braintree very quickly up 2 scores.
Yep.
So 8:13 left on the clock. As Braintree looking to take the extra
Two high
point.
safety. Two high safety. Two. Cover 2.
And the ball is mishandled as they're going to have to try and make a play. Brooks throws to the end zone. The pass is caught and it's completed. But that's a lineman and that's not going to count.
Yeah, legal receiver.
Flag on the 40.
As Brooks made something out of nothing. That was a miracle play, but obviously illegal there to throw it to one of the linemen.
An eligible receiver downfield against Braintree for the extra point is no good. Score is 13-0. Lead.
So the extra point obviously no good as the penalty is declined. And it's 13-0 Braintree.
All right.
So Braintree will kick it off again.
25 yards was number 40, Terry Lane, for the score. Earlier, that long touchdown pass for Braintree's first touchdown was caught by Caleb Hawkins Gomes.
So Braintree with 2 touchdowns here in the opening just under 4 minutes. Franciosa Johnson on the first touchdown from 15 yards out, and then the fumble recovery just moments ago. 2 touchdown lead. 13-0 the score after the missed extra point. Failed conversion. As it's kicked deep, very good kick as this one all the way back towards the end zone, and it's going to have to be brought out.
Yeah.
As very close to the goal line, now able to spin out and actually makes a decent return from it, as that could have been a very disastrous play, but Framingham makes something out of it, gets out to, it looks like around the 15-yard line, and that's where the offense will take over for the second time. So the Braintree defense has started to force quite a bit of turnovers here in the early part of the season. They had forced 3 of them last week, 2 interceptions and a fumble, already with a fumble recovery here in quarter number 1. As they try and make another stand here, as they have Framingham pinned quite deep in their own territory. 8:08 on the clock, first and 10.
Cover 2, 3, 4. Linebackers off.
Back to pass. And the throw is completed on a little screen out to his right. And slipping a tackle and finding some space. And he's gone for the touchdown. As Braintree looking like they're going to try and chase him down, but going to give up now. As going all the way down for the touchdown. A 85-yard touchdown. And a good block that set it up. It looked like Braintree had the tackle and then all of a sudden able to slip through it. And a long touchdown down the field it goes. As the offense for Framingham able to make a big play.
There was about
85.
The 75, 70, 85 area.
So Framingham, all of a sudden, lightning in a bottle, and just like that, able to cut it in half, barring the extra point.
We got to play well.
Yep.
Back to kick the extra point on the way. Very high and very good.
Nice job.
Way back.
So Framingham makes it 13-7.
So I think we made a mistake on third down on last series.
So Framingham with a long touchdown reception out to the receiver, able to break one tackle and find his way all the way down the field.
Is that windy?
Didn't pick up the uniform number on the way down the field, but Framingham does score, making it 13-7. They didn't have that turnover. They were right in this game down. They're probably tying that game up.
We got 10. We got 10 out there. We got 10. Okay, now it's 11. Now it's 11. Now it's 11.
And they're going to kick this one off. There's Braintree with, again, Francis Johnson back to receive.
Sanchez back on free safety as well.
And it's going to be a pooch, and I think the ball fell forward again on the tee, and they're going to have to re-kick it.
Ball falls off the tee again. The re-kick.
Might have to see somebody hold the ball at some point here in this game. And it looks like that's what's going to happen here. Actually, a disadvantage to the kicking team. They have to lose a player to hold the ball. Deep down the field it goes, where Francis Johnson lets it actually be received right in front of him. And a good return here for Braintree as continuing up the field to the 50, or just shy of it. A flag thrown in late. And a big return, but we'll see if it holds as Braintree gets the return from Garrity all the way out to just shy of midfield. And Braintree with the flag against him. I think it was a block in the back going on Braintree with the penalty moving him back. So the ball did go right around the 48-yard line on the return, but it will be a penalty that will bring them back all the way to the 27. Where they'll take over 1st and 10. 13-7 lead. A lot of action already here in the early part of this ball game. Doesn't look like either side's going to have trouble scoring in this ball game.
The number two is number 3.
This is Tellier rolling to his right. He's going to scramble, and he takes it out to the 36. As Tellier found his way out and able to be knocked out of bounds after a decent gain on 1st down. That'll be just shy of 1st down yardage, probably about a second and maybe a long yard and a half. Looks like they'll spot it right at the 35, making it a 2nd and 2.
You gotta tell Jacob to come up a little more.
Francis Johnson goes in motion, and it's Francis Johnson on the sweep as he's got some space. Here he goes, and over midfield, another big play from Francis Johnson, who's touched the ball twice, and each time has had a big play. But it looks like we're going to see another flag on the play and another hold. Seen a lot of flags already thrown, and we haven't even played a whole quarter.
3's the guy. He was on the jet sweep, so we got to somehow track him and account for him. And they did it right, and then they did it. It was a nice little play.
So the ball, we move back from the spot of the foul.
Oh, really? We'll switch it half.
And we did have enough for the 1st down before the penalty occurred. So it will be a 1st down for Braintree, ball on the 37.
So the ball placed at the 38, which is where Braintree will have their next snap.
3 down low. He's the number 2. He's the number two receiver on the right side.
And
Fair,
back to pass.
fair, fair,
It
fair.
is Tellier. Tellier back to pass. Open is Franciosa Johnson. He makes a man miss and he's gone. Franciosa Johnson for the second time is gone. As Franciosa Johnson from 65 yards away.
We have to, honestly, we're going to have to go to cover two pretty much because they're not going to be able to.
So Franciosa Johnson with the second touchdown of the ball game. And Braintree will send out the special teams again, looking to make it a 20-7 lead.
Kevin Frey, Jacob Cuthbert, and Kevin was nowhere to be seen all the time. He's on. Yeah, he has to stay on if we're coming three. But
Back to kick, and the kick is on the way, and the kick is no signal yet, as another flag thrown. A lot going on these extra points. Still have not seen a signal whether the kick was good or not.
They declined it. Yeah.
So I'm assuming the kick was good. Make it a 20-7 lead. And the penalty was declined, whatever the penalty was after the kick. So Braintree with 6:35 to go here in the first quarter, now up again by 2 scores. So a lot going on. A lot of yellow on the field. Might be the 6th or 7th flag already here of the opening quarter. We haven't even played half of it.
All right, so what's the play? 13?
Looks like Braintree will
All right, just let me know. what
kick
the
it
play
off
is.
now. I guess the penalty must have been on Braintree, and maybe it's enforced here on the kickoff.
Good. Play out. Tell them to move up. Oh, wait.
So the ball will be kicked off now at the 25 instead of the 35.
Hey, what do you think about just going 2 for the next series? Because 3 is going to, they got the seam routes on 3. They kind of exploited this a couple times. And just stay in 2 and just play with a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, because it just doesn't seem like 3 is like.
Another good kick from Braintree as Brooks all the way back to the 15. Long return here over midfield and pushed out of bounds at the 45. As both teams with explosive plays here in this first quarter. Framingham's now with their second play of 35-40 yards.
Ball return to the Braintree side of the field to the 47, the outline. The first down Lions.
So the offense will take over. Ball placed at the 46. I make it the 47.
All right. All right, so what's this? Pass.
Out to the left, and this is going to be an option play. Swings it out to his left, and a big hit. Does get the ball down to the 40 on the sweep. That one was Hodge, who ended up being the ball carrier after the flip.
Second down and 2 for first down.
Oh, 22 Red Zombie got a fumble.
So that actually brings up a second down and a long yard. Braintree makes a swap on defense.
Red Zombies.
Faking the handoff and taking himself, and that's going to go backwards as the quarterback held that himself. Silva.
Line Brooks.
So a loss on the play brings up a third down.
13-0 Chargers got it.
Look about a 5 or 6 yard loss on the play. And the Braintree defense now looking for a stand.
Okay, they're playing back way off. They're playing way off. They're playing way off.
Braintree looking to bring some heat here as the blitz comes in. They got a couple guys after him, but the quarterback takes off. Silva towards the first down marker. He's going to be short, but very close towards the marker.
Looks to be a yard or so short of the
Let's
first
just go to
down.
cover 2 if Coach
Ball
Goodwin
at
just
the
stay there.
38-yard line.
Trent, they're playing off. Like, across the board.
And one.
So 4:40, clock on the move here in the first
Now
quarter.
they'll probably be on the line, but
Fourth down
they don't want
and
to
a
get back
yard.
again, so they're playing way off. So what are we playing?
And looks like we're going to take a timeout on the field here with 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. We'll have the timeout, and it'll be a big fourth down upcoming. We'll take a break in the action. Braintree holding on to a 20-7 lead. Framingham on the move. Fourth down upcoming right after this.
What is it? 22 Red Zombie again? What is it? What is this?
Fourth down. Framingham going for it.
Back here, ready for fourth down. So 4th and 1. As the handoff goes up the middle, and it's going to be a first
What
down.
play was that?
Number 7.
So getting the yard to gain, about a 2-yard gain on the play. We'll move the chains and keep the ball moving up the field.
Braintree 36.5 yard line.
They have 8 guys outside, like, lining up outside the ball, like 5 yards deep.
As the ball gets out to the left, and Braintree with the tackle at the
Hey, that option left,
27.
You guys got.
Let's pick up of 8, maybe 9.
You guys have option left out
Inside
there.
the 30-yard line to
There's
the
no contain. There's
So
no
pretty good
contain on
first
that
down
option
gain.
left side.
maybe 27. 79 and 1.5 for first down for Framingham.
So 8.5-yard gain on first down.
Tackle was made by Ryan Brooks.
Ball in the near hash. Silva back to pass. Goes up the middle with it now, and he's going to run with it. And he's got the first down and more down the
There's
sidelines,
no
pushed
contain
out of
on the
bounds.
left side from the pool. They have no contain.
So Silva takes it down
What
to
play
the
was that?
17.
Big blue Victor.
After Silva on the carry.
So
First
again,
down.
the offense will keep the chains moving. A couple of first downs here on the drive as the man goes in motion. And Braintree's got him in the backfield and a sack as Lane comes in and he takes him down. His second big play of the quarter. He had the 40-yard touchdown return, the fumble recovery, now a sack.
Maybe 5 yards. Your second down.
So quite a big loss on the play. Silva's done a good job getting out and using his legs, but this time Braintree was able to get him in the backfield.
Okay, they're all playing off.
Again, Silva with a back to his right, back to pass. As Braintree got some pressure as he throws it short, a dangerous pass, and that was close to being picked off, but the catch was made. And a penalty flag down on the field.
No game.
And it looks like it's against Braintree. May have been a roughing the passer.
Yes.
Third down.
It is. Third should be third. Or second. It says second. But I thought it was third. Yeah.
So a lot of flags here in this first quarter, and Braintree's getting burned with a handful of these flags.
It's first down.
There was a flag on the play.
And that's a big flag after, how are they going to call? Referees looked like he was signaling for an intentional ground. That was a weird call.
Ball now goes to the 10-yard line.
What?
Make it the 11 or 12.
Okay, so
First down. Framingham.
So the ball inside the 15, down around the 12-yard line. First down and 10.
Outside linebackers are playing on the line.
And Braintree in the backfield disrupting the play and able to get maybe a half a yard out of it is the quarterback Silva, who makes something out of nothing. Braintree almost had another sack. Final half minute here of the opening quarter. 27 points on the board, 20 by Braintree, 7 for Framingham, and they're on the move.
What plays this?
Depending on if it's a incomplete pass, this might be the final play here of the quarter, as going up the middle and a pretty good gain on second down. As the final 15 seconds drain off the clock here.
Put the ball inside the 5 or at the 5.
And that'll do it here for the first quarter as Framingham heads to the sidelines. We'll switch fields, and we will bring you back coverage here on this one as we continue our live stream broadcast here on BCAM TV. 20-7 lead for the Wamps as we have a break in the action. We'll be back for second quarter action right after this.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team. If we all show up together, that's what it's all about.
I was a part of helping to build what it is today.
I'm really lucky to get to be a part of that legacy.
Just that simple act that takes, 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. It's something special.
Get up and try something. Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
Four-yard line as we have a big play upcoming for the Flyers on a third down. And some time to talk it over. We'll see what they draw up here. As the handoff goes right up the middle and into the end zone. As the handoff goes towards their tailback, number 7, Ben Lincoln, who takes it in from 5 yards out. And Framingham has scored their second touchdown here in the half. And they're right in this ball game. The offense has struggled in the early part of the season, but here in this first half, they've scored now their second touchdown. As Lincoln makes it a one-score game. And the kick up, and the kick is good.
Braintree leads 20-14.
So 20-14 now the score after the extra point. So the kickoff now fielded by Braintree. Francios Johnson will take it out to the 27-yard line, and that's where the Braintree offense will take over. Braintree's offense will take over, and the first play goes up the middle. Not much there. On the handoff up the middle. So a lot of offense here in the opening quarter. Back to pass as Franciosa Johnson catches the ball and is looking for a blocker. Now starts going backwards, which is never a good thing. But he does get forward progress to the 28. So really not much there on the first two plays. It brings up the third down and long for the offense. So Tellier is going to have to dial something up here on a third and long. Braintree has gone the way of Parsons Gomes here in the game on big plays. As back to pass, and he's going to be swarmed in the backfield and sacked as three different Framingham players in on the sack. As Tellier and the offense now will have to kick it away for the first time. $10-10 to go here. Clock continuing to drain, and Braintree getting set to punt this one away deep in their own territory. Looks like they're going to bring some containment here on the outsides. Looks like Framingham going to bring some heat here, trying to block the punt. And a flag on the play.
See it, we had it last week, but it's not here on the ground.
So the flag will back Braintree up. So we get ready again to punt it away. High snap, and the defense brings some pressure, nearly blocking that one. It's not a great punt, and it ends up being downed at the 24, maybe the 23-yard line, and that was a very short kick. Very hard to tell if that ball was partially blocked. The way it came off Brooks's foot, I'm imagining maybe somebody got a piece of that ball, or at least shanked the ball. So the offense for Framingham will have a short field as they are right in this ball game, down 20-14 with 9:10 remaining here in the first half. Framingham have a chance here to tie the game, if not go ahead, as the ball is on the ground and a fumble, and it's recovered by Braintree. As the Wamps come away with the turnover. Second time that Framingham has turned it over and fumbled it here in the first half, and Braintree with an immediate opportunity to get the offense back on the field. So the offense for the Wamps, right back to it. Braintree with a player too many on the field, I believe, as one went off the field. couple of receivers out to the near side left. And back to pass is Tellier. He pump fakes and fires down the field. Franciosa Johnson has got the ball. And a long catch down the field as he catches the ball at the 45. So Braintree with the big play. What a catch made by Franciosa Johnson. They're going to actually knock him down at the 47-yard line. And that's where Braintree's next play will be, as Tellier has now completed another long pass down the field. Both sides throwing the ball down the field, as taking it up the middle is Brooks. And Brooks will take it down to the 37-yard line, as Braintree with some big plays here on this drive. Low snap as Braintree again, the handoff. And it looks like Luongo is back in the game. We haven't seen him since earlier when he injured his ankle, it looked like. As the carry will move the chains, it'll be a first down carry for Braintree. So Braintree moving the chains for the second time here on the drive. The Wamps with a 20-14 lead, 7.5 remaining here in the first half. Franciosa Johnson coming in motion as they give him a little push pass. He's got the ball, and he's got the ball out to the 34, and I believe Braintree going to be given another penalty here, maybe a block in the back on one of the receivers trying to block for him. It's getting ridiculous with all the flags, and it is against Braintree. Didn't see this many flags in the entire game last week against Stoughton, and we saw a ton of points, but here in this first half, just flag after flag, and these aren't just 5-yard penalties. We've seen 10-yard, 15-yard penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct. We've seen a face mask, late hit on the quarterback, lots of different flags. 6:50 clock on the move as the Braintree offense will be backed up. As Tellier hands up the middle, and a good gain on the play. First time we've seen the running back Curry take the ball up the middle, sophomore running back for the Wamps. Taken down to the 42, and it looks like an injured player on the field here for Framingham, holding his lower leg. As we're going to have a break in the action right now for an injury. And with 6:24 to go in the first half, Braintree again 20-14 lead as we have a break in the action, injury on the field. We'll be right back. Back here at Braintree High School at Alumni Stadium, the injured player off the field for the Flyers as the Braintree offense with a second down and long. As Tellier rolls to his left, looking to make a pass, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. As he gets taken down at the 48-yard line. Actually, going to give him a little bit more forward progress. We'll place it at the 46. So the offense for Braintree with a 3rd and a mile here for the Wamps. 3rd down and about 21 yards. Braintree will need at least 10 or 15 yards here in this play to probably think about going for it. As Tellier's back to pass, long down the field. The pass is short. He had to come back to make the catch, but Parsons Gomes makes the catch. And a first down on the play as Parsons Gomes comes all the way back. The ball was thrown behind him, and he had to come back and make the play. Otherwise, probably could have been another long touchdown for Braintree as the pass was completed. Tellier, for one of the few times, has underthrown a receiver here in this game. He's got plenty of arm. But Braintree with another big play up the field. Here is Brooks. He gets by the first man and he gets out to another first down. Another 10-yard gain on the play. And Braintree just continues to move the ball at will here in this ball game.
Inside the 15. To be on the 13-yard line.
So they're actually not going to give the first down. It's going to be a second down and inches for the Wamps as the official moved the ball back a half yard. And obviously that's the difference between first down and second down. So Braintree looking for the call from the sidelines as Tellier with Brooks to his right. Back to pass. Looks down the field towards the end zone and incomplete. And the referee was digging for a flag but did not throw it. Looked like that could have easily been a pass interference as the defender never looked for the ball. And Braintree for a rare time here in the half with an incompletion. That was Danny O'Shea who was the intended target with 4:38 to go. A third down and very short. So we'll see if Braintree takes this ball up the middle. We've seen Braintree use Brooks quite a bit up the middle as Braintree bobbles the snap, and that is going to do it here for the snap, and that's going to give a flag. What a boneheaded play by Framingham as they come in late and hit the quarterback while he was down on the ground. That's a horrible penalty. As Nick Duplessis with the penalty for Framingham, and that's going to give Braintree a free first down. Coach for Framingham not happy, but that was as clear as day. Took a shot at the quarterback who was down on the ground, and not only take a shot at him, but that was up towards the head. And really, an untimely penalty to take. No real reason to do it, but obviously when you're on the field, it's hard to control yourself sometimes, but that is just something that can't happen. You just got a huge break there where Braintree bobbled the snap, and it would have been third down and then probably about 7. Instead, it's a first down, and now Braintree in the red zone. As the handoff goes to the right to Brooks, and just like that, Brooks scores the touchdown, and Braintree has scored yet again. So Braintree for the second time taking advantage of a fumble that Framingham has turned over, and it brings it to a 26-14 game as Braintree will potentially bring the field goal unit out there to make it again a 13-point game. So 4:23 left on the clock here in the first half as Braintree looks for the PAT. Brooks, who just scored moments ago, will kick this one off. Kick on the way, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So Braintree completes it, and Braintree keeps moving the offense as the offense takes full advantage of a very bad penalty on the drive that kept the drive going and gave Braintree a first down, and they take advantage the next play, 27-14 now. So lots of offense here in the first half as Braintree a chance to score quite a bit of number of points in this game, although obviously the defensive side of the ball, you're hoping that you can slow down this Framingham offense that has made a couple of big plays. Brooks set to kick it off as he gets the tee. Ball at the 40-yard line where Brooks will kick it off. He's done a great job kicking here this season. You don't see many kickers at this level kick the ball as far as he does off the tee. This time decides to go short with it. It hits the defender who picks it up and falls right down. Or looked like one of the special teams players just falling right on that ball, and that was number 54 for the Flyers who fell on that ball. Henry Goldberg, one of their captains. Silva takes it to his left, tries to pitch it forward. That's a forward pass. I actually going to call that a pass.
Ball was on the ground.
It looked like he was really trying to pitch that one, which, if he did, and that went forward, that should have been illegal, but must have been behind the line of scrimmage when he did that. Well, either way, the pass was incomplete. So the Braintree defense looking to make a play. They've had 2 forced fumbles, one going for a touchdown from 40 yards out from Perry Lane, who's made now a handful of defensive plays in this ball game, had a sack as well. As Silva back to pass, throws to his left, and it's incomplete as the ball was off the fingertips of the intended target, number 24, Calvin Hodge. And Braintree with an injured player on the field momentarily, but he gets back up. Taking an extra second there. Big play coming up for Framingham. 3rd down as the ball goes up the middle and a mishandle on the play is Braintree with a big takedown. And that is another loss. This is going to bring up a forced punt.
The Flyers into a 4th down situation. 4th and 12.
So we'll bring up a 4th down. 3:14 on the clock. And we will see a punt. Haven't seen a ton of them in the game. And we have a timeout on the field with 3:14 left, 27-14 lead for Braintree, and a punt upcoming for the Flyers. This game's featured a little bit of everything, especially lots of big plays, explosive plays by both sides. Braintree's had a 65-yard touchdown. Franciosa Johnson. We saw an 85-yard score for Framingham. And Braintree with a couple of touchdowns and close. But we've seen Parsons Gomes make a couple of long catches down the field for Braintree, a junior who's been heavily involved in the passing game all season long. So getting ready to punt this one away will be the Flyers. High snap and able to get it over the hands of the diving defensive player, and a tough tackle as the player went down awkwardly. That was Garrity who got tackled, and he went down weird but seemed to bounce up okay. Made me cringe up here in the booth, the way he buckled down. Seemed to be okay as he walks towards the sideline. Hunched over a little bit, but seems to be okay down that sideline, which is a great thing. So the Braintree offense back out there. 3:06 to go here in the second quarter. Lots and lots and lots of offense in this game as Tellier ready to pass. Fires to his left to Parsons Gomes, makes the catch, makes a man miss, and he takes it down to the 48-yard line where he's tackled out of bounds. Could have been a potential late hit there, but he was being run out of bounds, but no real reason to throw him out of bounds after clearly was knocked out. So Parsons Gomes continues to be heavily targeted here in this first half. Thought with the wins here in this game we might not see as many pass plays, but Braintree's had no problem firing it down the field. Open again, Franciosa Johnson's got it as he makes a man miss, and he's gone. Franciosa Johnson's third touchdown of the ball game. The hat trick. And a 65-yard score from Franciosa Johnson, who just continues to get behind the defense. I'm not sure why Framingham hasn't been able to make an adjustment. That's the third time that he's gotten behind the defense. I'm not saying he's not fast, but that's the third time here in the half, and it hasn't even been close. He's broken by a couple of defenders and used his speed to his advantage. So his second time he has scored from 65 yards away. I don't have the exact total yardage he has in this game, but it's well over 150. Getting ready for the extra point as Braintree with their 5th touchdown of the half. Brooks' kick on the way, and the kick is right there and good. So Braintree now 34-14 leaders, and they do kick off to begin the second half. So Braintree does do their job. They come up with the stop. They come up with another score, and Braintree continuing to add to their lead. That's their third straight touchdown after Framingham, actually the second straight touchdown after Framingham got within 6. So Braintree, who has now 3 plays of 40-plus yards in this game, including the defensive score by Perry Lane, 2 straight touchdowns from 65 yards out from Franciosa Johnson, has opened up an explosive first half with 2:22 to go here in the second quarter. Braintree with a 34-14 lead. And there must have been a flag after the play because Braintree is now kicking it off at the 45 of Framingham, which should allow Brooks, with his kicking ability, to send this one into the end zone if he wants. Getting ready to kick it, and he goes short with it instead as he knocks it right at the goal line where it's fielded. Braintree brings the special teams in, and Framingham able to bring it out to about the 14-yard line. So a decent return from what it looked like. Braintree had a chance initially to tackle him right around the 5, but the receiver was able to get by one. And with 2:16 to go in the half, Braintree now needing to make a stand. Framingham right now, if they don't want to get blown out of this game, going to need some offense to keep up with this Braintree offense that's scoring at will. Obviously, most games you don't want to play this way if you're Braintree, where it's a fireworks show where you're giving up a lot of points, but Braintree scoring anytime they have the ball, really, as the ball is completed out to the 17-yard line on a short completion to Fabry. And a timeout taken on the field. So again, I want to thank you for watching here our live stream broadcast on BCAM TV, both on YouTube as well as the BCAM TV station on Comcast and Verizon, channels 9 and 28. Right before this game, I announced a Braintree field hockey victory 3-0 over Silver Lake as the field hockey team improves to 6-1. Boys soccer has played very good early in this season as well. They believe at one point now with 3 or 4 wins in a row. Braintree Athletics starting to pick up some victories. The football team with their first win of the season last week against Stoughton, and looking in a pretty good position to get a second win. Back to pass as Silva goes to his left. Dangerous pass. It's caught, but a very short gain. Maybe a loss, and it's the ball on the ground again. The referee throws down his beanbag, and that means the ball is on the ground. Question of who picked up the ball, and they signal Braintree ball. So Braintree forcing their third turnover of the half, and Grieve coming off the field fired up. Maybe he knocked that ball away or picked it up, one of the two, as Braintree in a prime position to score yet again, a chance to have a 40-point half. It's been all Braintree the last really 5 or 6 minutes here in this first half as they look for another score. Framingham got as close as 20-14. Braintree with back-to-back touchdowns, and now throwing it out to his left and incomplete to Parsons Gomes. So Parsons Gomes continues to be a favorite of Tellier. That time, whether the ball was overthrown a bit, it was dropped. But Braintree looking to make something happen yet again. They're probably in field goal range if they really had to kick it from here. As Tellier back to pass, throws it short to his left. Franciosa Johnson makes one miss, gets to the outside towards the goal line, and very close to the end zone as the referee makes a signal, and he's just short, and Franciosa Johnson wants the touchdown, but the referee really was not in good position to make that call. And look at the end zone there. The pylon marker is down on the ground, so it made it even more difficult to see what was going on there. I don't know why the referee hasn't picked that pylon up. It's laying on the ground. And Franciosa Johnson, who would have had his fourth score of the half, probably going to see Brooks now in the backfield. This is where he's pretty heavily involved for the Wamps offense. As the handoff, actually going to throw wide open on the slant. Touchdown! And Parsons Gomes with the score. So Braintree doing it all here in the half, and Franciosa Johnson with some good sportsmanship there, going over to Parsons Gomes, who scores and celebrating with his teammate, not being a selfish player out there, wanting that fourth score, as Parsons Gomes, who's had a great half, gets rewarded. So Braintree does what I didn't expect him to do, which is throw the ball there from that spot on the field at the 1. And now another extra point with 1:06 to go. And the way you see the scoreboard, yes, it is correct. Braintree with 40 points here in the first half. Another good snap, and the kick on the way, and again, the kick is hammered through by Brooks. He's had a good first half kicking the ball. So Braintree now makes it a 41-14 lead as we have 1:06 remaining in this first half, and Braintree has blown this one wide open. Now leading by 27. A 4-touchdown lead. Braintree's really only blemish in this game, well, a couple of blemishes, but the main blemish was one of the point afters originally was missnapped, or at least the ball was knocked away from the holder, whether the snap was bad or the holder mishandled the ball. And obviously the kick was no good. But other than that, Braintree's done a lot of good things. The defense has buckled down. They've forced now 2 turnovers. And the Framingham defense just not able to stop Franciosa Johnson or Parsons Gomes down the field. Another kickoff on a squib kick as Framingham will field it at the 15-yard line and taking it out to the 30. And that's where Braintree will tackle them. On the tackle that time for Braintree was Dom Dionisio.
Ball on their own 31-yard line. With a minute left to go in the second quarter.
So we'll see what Framingham does here. Down by 27. We'll See if they try and move the ball up the field. They do get the ball to start the second half, so that does help them. But you have to wonder what the offense can do. Really, the problem for Framingham has been their defense. The offense has been okay. It has had 2 fumbles, which obviously hurt, but the defense just has not been able to stop Braintree, as the quarterback will take it himself and actually makes one miss and somehow makes a play positively here on this one. Looked like he was going to be taken down well behind the backfield, and instead gets about 6 yards on the play. And obviously, with just 40 seconds clock on the move, I don't think Framingham's really in any rush. They might try and throw 1 or 2 passes here, but the worst thing they could do is turn it over again. They've had a problem with that here in this ball game. As Silva rolls to his right, he's going to use his legs again. And a minimal gain does get a first down, but with the clock continuing to move, that's really not going to help the cause for the Flyers. It does stop as they move the chains, but just 14.6 left on the clock. Looked like the referee signaled for a timeout by Braintree. I don't know why they'd take a timeout here. They don't want a timeout, I'm imagining. But I guess they're going to take it now. No real reason for Braintree to take a timeout where the ball is on the field. And this first half has featured quite a bit of everything. Three touchdowns for Franciosa Johnson. Parsons Gomes with 1. Lane with a defensive score. And Brooks also getting on the board for Braintree. Lincoln with a 5-yard score for the Flyers. And I did not see the jersey number of the receiver who had that 85-yard score. Very difficult to read the Framingham jerseys on that far side of the field where the ball was. Obviously no replay for me to keep a close eye on that one. So see if I can identify or get word from the official score maybe on who scored that first score for Framingham. Otherwise, got everything under wraps here. Man goes in motion. And the ball on the ground again as Framingham just having all sorts of issues, and that might be a penalty on Braintree with the late hit after hitting the player on the ground, which is what Framingham did earlier. So if they're going to keep it that way, that's going to have to be a penalty on Braintree, although obviously he was trying to dive in there and make a play, but the player was already down and giving himself up, so you can understand what the call is. And with just 6 seconds left, it's probably going to be just a Hail Mary if they want to try it. But Framingham, for the 3rd time, has put the ball on the ground. Might be a long second half. The number of flags. And I imagine Braintree's going to want to run the ball a little bit more. Keep the clock moving.
Good first down, ball on the 42-yard line of Braintree.
So 6.4 on the clock. Ball placed at the 42-yard line. And Silva will just hand it off, and that'll be the first half. A little surprised Framingham didn't at least give themselves a chance on a Hail Mary there. They have thrown it down the field a couple times. And the first half comes to an end here at Braintree High School Alumni Stadium, 41-14. Yes, Braintree with a 41-point first half, as that'll do it. I already recapped all the scoring. We'll bring you back the start of the 3rd quarter after a quick break here on BCAM TV. Thanks for watching our live stream broadcast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Alumni Stadium as we are getting ready for third quarter action here at Braintree High School. 41-14 lead for the Wamps over the Framingham Flyers. Mike Wassel bringing you the call here on BCAM TV as we continue our live stream broadcast here at Braintree Sports. And again, I did give the recap of scoring a little bit before halftime. With a little bit of time here, I might give you a quick rundown. Franciosa Johnson with 3 scores, 1 from 15 yards out, make it 2 from 65 yards out. 3 scores in the first half. Perry Lane with a defensive fumble recovery. Brooks with the 5-yard run. And Parsons Gomes, the final score of the half for Braintree. 2 touchdowns for Framingham, 1 from 85 yards on a bubble screen, the other from 5 yards on a touchdown run from their running back Lincoln. And a couple of turnovers by the quarterback Silva had opened the door for Braintree to really have a good first half. This one will be fielded just inside the 10-yard line and a decent return out to the 26-yard line where the offense will take over for Framingham.
Framingham will stop inside their own 30. First down.
So the second half will begin here with 11:56 to go. First offensive possession for Framingham, who gets the ball to start the second half. And they're going to need a lot of offense in this game. And there is a point that we may see a running clock here in this second half with the way things have unfolded. As the play goes up the middle and there's nothing there. A loss of a half a yard, maybe a yard on the play.
2. Second down and 11, make it 12.
So Framingham coming out of halftime with a running play, not much doing on the first play. Didn't look like either side really wanted to come back to the field after the first half ended. The scoreboard showed 0 for a while. Finally, both teams came out. Braintree obviously with a huge lead as this is going to be a pitch to the left, and Braintree sniffing it out and makes the play defensively. And over there to make that tackle was Franciosa Johnson. Actually, make that 33. I saw the 3 on the jersey, but that's 33. That was James Curry who made the play for Braintree. Franciosa Johnson playing a different position. Playing a defensive back position. So Braintree with consecutive stops now brings up a 3rd down and long for the offense. Framingham going to need something creative here. Braintree has seemed like to sniff out this play here as they bring some pressure. The quarterback rolls to his right and gets sacked as Braintree with a big defensive stand. And Framingham looking out of sorts here for their first drive of this third quarter. Ball will be pinned deep in the Framingham end at the 15-yard line. And nonetheless, it's going to be a punting situation for the offense as Braintree, I don't know if they gave up any yards on that play, on that possession. I think everything went backwards for Framingham. With 9:50 to go, the ball snapped towards the back line. It was that close to being out of bounds. It's going to be a safety, I believe. Yes, a safety. As Braintree takes him down just shy of the goal line. Looked like he was going to get out of the end zone, but could not. And Braintree gets the 2 points on the safety. Haven't seen that in a long time. Braintree gets a safety, 2 more points. They lead now 43-14, and then they'll get the ball on the free kick. So Braintree was getting the ball back, but now given 2 points. So things going south quickly for Framingham. So a little bit different between high school football and obviously the professionals, where this will be just a kickoff instead of a free kick, which is how it is in the NFL. Punter kicks it. So this one will be sent down the field and kicked off at the 20-yard line as Franciosa Johnson back to field it at the 37, cuts across the field and not much there as he's tackled at the 42. And Franciosa Johnson probably doesn't want to take too many hits here in a very comfortable game with Braintree now up by 29 points.
At the just inside the 43. The first down, Braintree.
So 1st and 10 for the offense. 9:35 on the clock. Third quarter action here at Braintree High School Alumni Stadium as Braintree on their way to a 2-1 record.
Tackle clearing to run all the way.
As Braintree with a big gain.
Pick up 13 yards out to the Framingham 43-yard line.
Getting ready now for the snap is Tellier with Brooks now flanked to his left. The handoff goes to Brooks. Brooks makes a man miss. He's going up the field, gets a block, and Brooks towards the goal line, stretches, diving for the end zone, and the signal is still awaiting. Touchdown! As Brooks gets his second score, and Braintree with another long touchdown play. A 43-yard touchdown run. And now, I believe we will see a running clock from here on out, with Braintree now ahead, 49-14, pending the extra point. So Braintree, who allowed Framingham to stay in the game early, has since then blown the doors off of this game. As the kick on the way, and Brooks continuing to have himself a heck of a game. 50-14 now after the extra point, with 9:07 left on the clock. So this one has turned into a very quick rout after Braintree allowed Framingham to get as close as 20-14 at one point in the first half. They ended the half with a handful of scores, including one very late. But Braintree opens the second half with a safety and then a very quick touchdown just 3 or 4 plays later. As Braintree will kick it off, and we might see some JV players getting an opportunity to come into a game at some point. We might see the end of the day for Tellier, who has had a really good game himself, as the ball is fielded at the 15-yard line, and the return comes out to the 37-yard line, where Braintree will gain tackle and give him a couple more yards of forward progress out to the 39-yard line, where the offense will take over.
It's 36 points. Run the clock.
Does the clock continue to run? Yes. It's running. And he gets it.
Silva back to throw, and the pass down the field is incomplete. As Silva rolling to his right. The clock will continue to run even with the incompletion, as Framingham, obviously knowing that, they're going to try and work quickly Flyers with a couple of difficult defeats at the early part of the season, losing to Walpole and Milton, two very good football programs, and they're getting beaten pretty handily by Braintree here in this one, as the tackle was missed there by the Wamps, and the Framingham running back able to get out to the midfield mark.
Nice effort by Framingham on the play. First down on the Braintree side of the field at the 49-yard.
So Framingham going to fall to 0-3. Braintree going to improve to 2-1, and good start here to the season for Braintree under head coach Lee Carlson. Team certainly scoring a lot of points, throwing the ball a lot, and a short gain on the play. 4-yard gain on first down. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of the backups start to look to take some snaps here for Braintree, especially on the offensive side of the ball, as this one flipped to the right and it gets a first down.
Pitch from the quarterback, Ball all the way down to the
So that takes the ball down to the 34, where Framingham will have a first down. 6:20 left in the ball game, or in the third quarter, excuse me. I think both sides really would like this game to end at this point. The game obviously in hand. Man goes in motion, the handoff taken by the quarterback, who rolls to his right and spins, gets a good gain on the play as Silva continues to run the ball.
15-yard line. Just inside the 15-yard line. That was quarterback right there, Silva. First down. Ball on the 14.
So the ball placed at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10 for Framingham, down 50-14 with 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. Back goes in motion as the ball goes up the middle.
Ball up the middle for good yardage.
And getting half of the first down necessary yardage. As both sides continuing to play into this third quarter. And a lot of the crowd starting to make its way to the exits, as this game obviously starting to turn into a blowout. Certainly make our jobs easier on the way out. All the cars leaving. The handoff goes up the middle. Silva makes one miss. And Silva taken down at the 5. Is the ball on the ground again? Quarterback has taken quite a number of hits in this game, which you don't necessarily want, but he has run the ball a lot, so what do you really expect to see?
Ball marked at the 5-yard line.
Looked like there was a flag on the play. And they're going to back him up.
Flag marked off against Framingham.
So we haven't seen a ton of flags here in this third quarter, but we did see a ton of them in the first half. I didn't even count how many there were, but I'd say 15 flags in that first half. It was getting ridiculous with the number of penalties called. Not saying that they weren't all penalties, but it's a lot of flags in the first half of a high school game. The second half will be moving by very quickly, though, with the running clock, as we're already down to 3:20. As the handoff to the right, tailback makes one man miss. Braintree cannot tackle him, and he scores. Able to get down to the pylon. So Naz Johnson with the touchdown score for Framingham. So Framingham look like probably going to leave the offense on the field, I would assume. Down by this many. Why not go for 2? And it's now 50-20. I don't know if they'll stop the clock because it's now a 32-point game. And the snap, the hold, and the kick is good. They do go for the extra point, and the kick is good, making it 50-21 with 2:20 left. So lots of offense in this ball game. 50 points scored by Braintree, 21 on the Framingham side. As we get ready for the kickoff. Ball getting set to be kicked off at the 40-yard line. 1:20 to go here in the third quarter. Getting ready for the kickoff, and it is an onside kick try as Braintree will field the onside kick at the 46-yard line where the offense will take over.
It'll be a Braintree ball. Ball being marked on the 44-45-yard line of Braintree. First down on Wamps.
So it looks like Braintree will indeed keep their starting quarterback on the sideline, which is the right thing to do here in this situation, with Tellier taking the back seat to Colantonio, who will get a snap here. Don't expect to see many of the starters at all in the rest of this game. We don't want to see an injury here in the second half in what is a now 29-point game. As the handoff goes up the middle, and the ball taken out to midfield, but there was a whistle and a false start on Braintree, which will end this third quarter after the yards will be backed up, and the third quarter comes to an end. 50-21 is the score with the 5-yard penalty upcoming. We will head to the fourth and final frame here at Alumni Stadium. Braintree in command, 50-21. We'll be back right after this.
This is the city where danger lurks. Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. They prowl the streets alone and in packs, causing mayhem, destruction, and carnage. Warning. Until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers. They're not looking out for you.
Dude! Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected.
Sorry.
With strong, healthy bones.
Getting ready to start the fourth quarter here at Alumni Stadium as Braintree will snap, and the handoff goes up the middle, and a short gain. The ball was taken out to the 41-yard line on the carry. Player shaken up on the play for Braintree coming off. Holding that right arm. was Braintree's number 21, Ryan Curtis, who got the carry. Another handoff. This is Curry. As Curry with a stiff arm blasts through the line and takes it back to the original line of scrimmage, which is at the 46-yard line.
James Curry. Good down at 10. On the 46.
So it brings up a 4th down now. And are we going to see a Braintree punt, or are they going to go for this? It's actually a 3rd down. Scoreboard has it at 4th. It's 3rd down. I wasn't even looking across the side of the field. Now the handoff going up the middle as the ball was taken to the 47 before Framingham comes in with a gang tackle.
Framingham. At the pickup of 3.
So a short gain on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down where Braintree will punt it. Brooks will come back out and he will punt. A couple of reserves getting an opportunity to play here in this 4th quarter. That's Braintree with a huge lead here in the second half. Up 50-21. But they will be punting it away as Framingham will get a chance. Flyers with the touchdown on their last drive. Braintree taking all their time here as they get set to punt it away. Snap and nearly blocked as Brooks gets away. A pretty good kick. Takes a bounce in Framingham's favor as it will be downed at the 34-yard line. And that's where the offense for Framingham will take over. Looking to add upon what was a good drive last time.
34-yard line. 1st down Framingham.
Clock continuing to drain away here in this 4th quarter. Braintree will be defending here. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. As the offense for Framingham gets ready. Braintree with an extra defender jumping onto the field. They were 1 player short. Framingham with some substitutions, both sides with some late changes. Both teams with new players on the field. We'll see if we have a new quarterback out there for Framingham. I don't think they have a change of quarterback yet. No. It is still Silva, and he's still running with it as he takes it out to the 43-yard line with a dive. Pretty good dive there from the quarterback who's not giving up, but I don't know how much I like the idea of having him out there in a game like this. Obviously, Framingham down big, and you obviously want to build upon it, but part of me wonders, what do they have after Silva if he got hurt? I mean, what more do they have at that position?
That was Anthony Gorpy on the tackle.
Second down and 2, and a pass out to his left. Completed to the back. Fabry,
enough for a 1st down.
And a 1st down for Framingham with 7:10 clock going.
We have a flag on the play. It will be a 1st down for the Wamps.
So the ball at the 45-yard line. 1st down for Framingham. 6:40 to go. handoff. Actually a split to his left and a nice little pitch play. I've seen a couple of those option routes. You don't see that at the high school level very often. It's more of like a wildcat type offense. Bring up a 2nd down and 4. Silva looking to pitch it and throws it ahead, and the ball was dropped.
Silva's pass. Complete. 3rd 7.
So bring up a 3rd down and about 4. The offense huddling back after midfield. And Silva rolls to his left. He'll get the 1st down as he works it towards the sidelines. And does not get hit on his way out.
The 1st down.
As the clock continues to drain here. Under 5 minutes left in the ballgame. So Framingham having a couple of good drives here in this second half. Trying to add some offense to their total. Braintree doing most of their heavy lifting on offense in the first half. Scoring 41 points. Got a safety and a touchdown here in the second half as Silva wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Another strong defensive play by the defense.
Nothing for a loss of 3 yards. Back to the 46. Second down.
So 2nd down and 13. 4 minutes to go. 50-21. If you've joined us late, Braintree scoring 41 points in the first half to Framingham's 14. And a safety opened the door in the 3rd quarter as Braintree with some pressure in the backfield, and Silva is able to elude, and then he gets hammered at the 43-yard line, hit by a couple guys. Looked like he was hit there by Anthony Volpe again, who made a play earlier. So 3rd and long for the offense. So Braintree certainly made some adjustments at halftime. They've done a better job at defending the option play. Obviously playing a lot of their bench here in this second half. As the handoff goes up the middle, not much there. It'll be 4th down and maybe 6.
Inside the 40-yard line.
So Cole Antonio right now warming up on the sideline for Braintree if they get the ball back again. As this might be one of the final times Framingham touches the ball in this ball game with 2:40, clock continuing to run down as we're down to 2.5. 4th and 6 at the 39-yard line. As the quarterback will roll to his left, as Braintree with some pressure in the backfield, and they take him down behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack, and that'll do it on the drive as Braintree with the turnover on downs. And now the offense will come back out. They don't necessarily have to do too much. If they wanted to, they really could just kneel it down here, which I don't know if we'll see that, but they could do that. As the offense will come back onto the field for the last time in this game for Braintree. A couple of substitutions coming off the field here late. Braintree's not lined up in a closeout situation. Kneel down. No real surprise here in this ball game. Who was the star offensive player? Franciosa Johnson, as this ball was fumbled. And did Braintree fall on that ball? Yes, they did. Luckily. And if I was Braintree, I think you might want to just kneel it down here and just end this game.
Yes, they do.
Nope, they're not going to kneel it. Here with 1:05 left. Obviously not going to see another pass as the ball goes up the middle. And Braintree will run it out to the 36-yard line before they're tackled by a handful of Framingham players. And Braintree's season will continue in the winning direction. A 2-1 record now through 3 games. Framingham falls to 0-3 with a tough defeat. Been beaten pretty handily in all 3 of their games here this season. Braintree continues to score quite a number of points. But Franciosa Johnson with 3 touchdowns in this game to lead the Braintree offense. Tellier with a good game of his own, as well as Parsons Gomes. Braintree didn't have to run the ball a ton in this game. You see a lot of high school offenses run the ball quite a bit, but here today Braintree did a lot of their work through the air. And that will be the final score of this game as the final seconds drain off the clock in what was a blowout really from the half, as Braintree with the safety and a touchdown in the third quarter to start it off, and then Framingham with one more score. So just a couple of scores in the second half after Braintree with a dominant first half. They score 9 points in the second half. Framingham gets 7, as Braintree will win this one 50-21. Again, 3 touchdowns for Franciosa Johnson. Lane with the defensive score. Brooks with the 5-yard run. Parsons Gomes with a slant catch from a yard out and a safety for the defense. And then a 43-yard TD run here late in the ball game, as Braintree with a great game. Brooks with a couple scores. Franciosa Johnson with 3 scores. And the defense was outstanding after a slow start in that first quarter. A lot of flags, but otherwise a well-played game in this ball game. A couple turnovers that Braintree was able to force, and the offense for Braintree really did a good job protecting the ball here in this game. So a good win here today, 2-1 now for the Wamps as they beat Framingham, who falls to 0-3. Thank you for watching our live stream broadcast here on BCAM TV. Hope to see you again another time. That'll conclude our coverage. On behalf of our camera person here today, John Rafanos, I'm Mike Wassel. We'll see you next time.